Hello everyone and welcome back to Manifested Finesse on YouTube. My name is Manifesting Gaia. That is my Twitter, TikTok, and podcast. All the links are down below. My paid coaching email is down below and my affirmations list email is down below. It's one and the same. And all times are down below. And today we're going to be talking about how to ignore the 3D when it's right in front of you, and also how will I know my desire is here if I can't check the 3D. Alright, first I want to talk about checking the 3D because I'll get a lot of how will I know that I got the money if I can't check my bank account? How will I know my specific person texting me if I can't? I don't know why I'm doing that voice. How will I know my specific person texting me if I can't check my phones, I can't check my texts, I can't check my calls, I can't check my DMs? Or how do I ignore that it's not there if every time I look and it's not there? If there is one thing you're going to be in this life, it should be for real. Be for real. How have you seen that your mom has called you your whole life? How have you seen that you've got a direct message on social media your whole life? How did you see that you grew taller your whole life? How did you see that your skin cleared up your whole life? Did you check every day, every time? Did my mom call? Did my mom call? Are you looking at text calls from your mom? No, you just woke up one day and you are pleasantly surprised. That's the exact way it's going to be. You are going to be pleasantly surprised. If you have to look for it, you are seeing separation. If you have to look for it, you are not the version of you that has it. If you have to look for it, it is not there because you're not looking for a manifestation. It's not under a rock. There is absolutely no excuse for you to be checking the 3D for your desire. If you're manifesting an eye color change and you gotta look in the mirror to see if you got some food on your face, that's different. Of course you have to check the mirror, but you're not going to do it because you want to see if your eye color changed. You know that the 3D is only a reflection. You know that it's only reflecting your dominant states, what you dominantly assume, expect, and believe about yourself and about the world and about your desires. You know that if you want to check 3D, or if you have an urge to check the 3D, it's a pretty good sign that your manifestation isn't here. Why? Because when you want to check, you want to see it outside of you. And when you want to see it outside of you, you're letting your old concept of self talk you into searching for it outside of you. And when you want to search it outside of you, it's because you need it now. And when you need it now, you are not living in the wish fulfilled. You are not believing that you have it. You are not believing in your mind. You are not believing that it's here. You are not believing that creation is finished. You are not believing in your limitlessness. You are not believing that it is not separate from you. Your manifestations are not anywhere outside of here. So why do you need to see it outside of you? Because outside of you is where your worth is placed. So how do you put your worth back in yourself? Self-concept. You should be telling yourself anytime you want to check, I don't need to check. What do I need to check for? It is done. I'm powerful. I'm limitless. I've seen it in my mind. If I've seen it in my mind, then it is done. It has no choice but to materialize. I don't care what this person is doing. I don't care what they're saying. I don't care what's showing up, what's not showing up. Outside of me doesn't determine my power and my worth. If I want something to be done, it will be done because that's what I decided for myself. If you still believe in outside of you more than yourself, when you clearly have evidences your whole life of thought preceding matter, of you having to think the thought before it occurred, your clothes on your back are a great example. Was this shirt in the stores before the designer said, I want to make this shirt? No, that is impossible. It is impossible. So if you are still ignoring that fact that it is mind over matter, when you've had evidences of it your whole life being that way, because why would the law of the universe change just because you desire something, just because you know the law now? Then it's a power issue because your desires have more worth than you do. Your desires have more power than you do. So I don't know why you're giving your power away to something that has no choice but to come to you. It's obedient to you. So now we're going to talk about actually ignoring the 3D when it's right in front of you. I think a lot of people overcomplicate or overthink the term ignoring the 3D. It's not as complicated as a lot of people make it. We are not saying act like your 3D is not there. We are not saying disassociate. We are not saying, okay, you work in the same work environment as your ex, or you got a 70 on your last 5 tests when you've been affirming for straight A's. We're not saying that's not going to make you feel some type of way. But a lot of you guys are operating from black and white. Like, all right, if I go into work and I see my ex and they don't come up to me today for the 3rd day in a row, it's not working. Or if I check my portal for my grades, if I don't see A's in every single class, it's not working. It's not done. You all see, if it's not moving, it's not working. If it's moving, it's working. And when you operate like that, When you let the 3D decide, when you let the 3D lead, when you let it decide, if it's moving, it's working. If it's not moving, it's not working. It will be hot and cold or no movement at all, because your thoughts create. There is no separation between the mental and the physical. It is mind over matter. It is believing is seeing, not seeing is believing. So when you are up and down, you are trying to conform to something that is conforming to you. You are operating in a circle instead of a straight line. That's why when things go good and you're happy, but things go bad and you're sad, you'll get the same amount of movement all the time. Okay? I got movement from a specific person. They reached out to me, but it stopped. Why did it stop? Because when it stops, you stop. And then when you stop, it's stopping. You're trying to conform to something that is conforming to you. You're just moving in a big circle. You'll never move. You have to manually interrupt that. You have to decide. You have to put your foot down. You have to have the discipline and the courage to say, I'm not giving what I'm seeing more power than what I'm seeing in here. Out here isn't my real reality. In here is my one true and only reality. You can see a 3D with no change and still knowing it's changing. One, because you don't have access to the whole world with your 5 senses, let alone your 2 eyes. Your 2 eyes only see 0.0035% of the world. You can't see my thoughts. You can't see anything that's not in frame of this camera. You cannot see your specific person's thoughts. You cannot see what's being done with your application. So just because you don't see change doesn't mean it's not changing. Doesn't mean when they get home they don't think about you. Doesn't mean money isn't moving towards you. Doesn't mean your height isn't changing. Your bones aren't growing. When we hear ignore the 3D or be delusional, I think people mix up dreaming and wishing with believing, knowing, conviction, confidence, assurance, consistency. Those are completely different things. With the first set of things, you're hoping. A lot of you are operating from hope. I hope, oh my God, okay, I'm going to go into work today and hope that they talk to me. I'm going to go check my portal and hope that my grades are better. I'm going to go check the mirror and hope that my eyes are different. We are not hoping. We are not wishing. That is you, again, letting the 3D lead. What is not making sense here? You are not letting anything lead because you are in control. You are deciding and you're not looking outside of you to confirm your decision. A decision is a choice. You are making the choices. You are not looking, oh, they didn't conform. Well, I guess I won't conform. It'll only change. Your reality only changes as much as you do. So if you want change to occur, you have to be the change you seek to experience. There is no other way. This isn't like a carnival game. This isn't like, oh, pick a cup. Oh, you lifted the cup. Well, sorry, that's not your dream reality, so you got to go back to the one you were living. It's not chance. It's not a wish. It's not hoping. It's not a lottery. It's not a 1 in a million. It is a 1 of 1. It is what you are deciding that creates, point blank, period. There is no what if. A lot of people are also trying to fight the 3D. If you hate the 3D, you are saying, I hate my mindsets, because that is all it is. That is all it is. If you are saying, I can't ignore my 3D, you're saying, I can't ignore my mindset. And yeah, you obviously can, because it's so messed up right now and you're not taking the time to change it. If you're saying, I wish my 3D would change, you are saying, I wish I would change. Because the simple fact that you're even noticing the lack of change in your 3D means you got a lot of work to do in here and you're ignoring it. So why would your SP not ignore you? Why would the money give attention to you? Why would your appearance, why would your health get better? When I say be delusional, I don't mean be delusional with 3D. You can, of course. You can be like, my 3D isn't here. I'm definitely living in California. I'm definitely eating a 5-star course meal. You can do that. But what I'm saying is you don't even have to do that. You can still live in a 3D. You can still be driving a Toyota, but knowing that you're going to be driving a Range Rover because it has no choice but to conform. So when I say be delusional, I mean be delusional with your manifestations. Because your manifestations exist all around you at all times, because your thoughts are manifestations and you're always thinking. Your manifestations are consciousness. So when you place your consciousness on something, it brings it to this present moment. So if you're thinking about your manifestations like I have it right now, it's good, it's going good, then right now you are confirming and affirming that you have it without them being physically present, because you don't need to be seeing something to think about it. So like I said, with the creator of my shirt, they had to have known that it was done before it got made. It couldn't have shown up before they were like, all right, I have the vision for the shirt. I know what it's going to look like. I can see it hanging in stores. And they have to see it all the way throughout the process. If at any time, it doesn't even matter if it was distribution day, if the creator said, you know what, this isn't going to work, I can't do it, movement wouldn't have continued, because the creator is in control always. It doesn't matter if it's the second before. Literally at the last second, if the creator says, nope, I don't want it, it's not going to work, I can't do it, it's done. It's not going to move. Because the creator's mindset is more powerful than any movement that is happening outside of them, because the movement, just distribution, manufacturing, sewing, materials, import, their mind is more powerful than that, because their mind is deciding. So what you're actually doing is not ignoring the 3D in the sense that I have to act like I'm not experiencing it, but you're becoming disciplined so that any little thing you see in the 3D doesn't automatically trigger you and make you go, it's not working, it's not coming, it's not going to work. Because that's not what we're doing. You're not using the 3D as evidence to support your doubts. Well, of course, if your previous programming is opposed what you want, and so is your current programming, then your 3D isn't going to be in your favor until you make the switch. And stay consistent. You're not making the switch for 3 weeks and then saying nothing's moved. You never made the switch then, because you were doing it for outside of you. You were doing it to see movement. That's not making the switch. I don't care. You are still operating from your old concept of self. All right. So a lot of you guys, like I said, if you're working in the same working environment as your ex, y'all will go to work and be like, please change. Please talk to me. Talk to me. Talk to me. Please change. Come to me. Why aren't you changing? All right, it's lunch break. All right, it's lunchtime. You still haven't come to me, but I'm hoping by the end of the day we would have got back together. You would have confessed your feelings for me. Okay, you're changing. Oh, why isn't he changing? That's not how it works. You are going to work. He is changed. He is coming to me. I feel good. You're repeating until you feel good, not until this thing changes. Until you feel good, because change is the natural occurrence of your mindset. You're not manifesting change. The only change you're manifesting is change in your mindset. You're not manifesting change in the physical. We got 5 minutes to the end of our shift. Maybe you'll come up to me. That's you begging the 3D. That's you conforming with the 3D. You shouldn't be, if you were going into work, he's going to talk to me. Every moment that he doesn't talk to you, you shouldn't be conforming. Okay, maybe in 5 minutes. Maybe in 10 minutes. No, he is. He has. It's done. You're back together. It'll only move as much as you move. This is why I say go to the end, because y'all are like, he's talking to me. If you are in a relationship with the person you want, that would have already been done. Y'all would have already talked. Stop waiting for the 3D to conform before you decide to move forward with your desire. If you want something more, go for more. You don't know what changes are occurring. You don't know if they're thinking about you. You don't know if every time you're looking that way, they're looking right at you. You don't know. You don't know if they asked to be moved next to your cubicle. You don't know. So stop assuming the worst, or it will conform to your worst assumptions. Believing is seeing. So when you do the self-concept work to become secure, you will not need to see outside of you, because I already believe it. So no matter what things seem, it's working out perfectly for me because I said so, because I decided so. Because if it's what I decide, and I decide that it's moving, then it's moving. So why would you allow your thoughts to be thoughts that support other people and other circumstances being in control? That's an injustice to yourself. Every time you conform with the 3D, you give your power away thought by thought. That is an injustice to you. That's why I always say you're responsible for the circumstances, because nobody else is in control of your thoughts. Nobody shares your thoughts with you. So if it's not you who created the circumstances, who was it? Who was it? Who? So yeah, sometimes you're going to have to live in your 3D as you're transitioning to a better reality, just like a baby who within the first 2 years of life, all it can do is babble. It doesn't know how to speak. But are you going to give up on the baby because, oh, it's been 3 months, this baby still can't speak English. Oh, it's been 5 months, this baby still doesn't know how to say mama. Oh, it's been 2 years, this baby I still can't understand it. It's broken. No, you're going to stick with it. You're going to show up every day. Say mama, say good morning, say hello, say hi, say love you. Until it understands language. How'd you learn language? You think you just woke up and knew English? You think you just woke up and knew French, Dutch, Italian? I don't care what you speak. No, you did not. You had to learn. You had to be consistent. Somebody had to persist it into you. So the 3D is irrelevant and not accurate, because not only is it always moving, but you cannot see every square inch of movement. Trust me, if you could see every square inch of movement, you would never, ever, ever, ever question the movement, because it would always be moving. And what I'm saying to you is you shouldn't need to. You shouldn't need to see every square inch for you to know that you're powerful. You are powerful because you are, because you're a human being, because you can see what you want without having to experience it. How much power is that? That is a lot of power. Like, a lot of people check the 3D for change all day, which really hinders your progress, because it's not actually checking the 3D that messes up your desire, but a lot of y'all check and are unstable. So when you see something you don't like or see no change, it triggers you and makes you feel hopeless and want to give up, which would have never happened if you didn't check. That is why we say don't check the 3D. Then what has to reflect? Nothing moving, nothing changing. you feeling like giving up, you'll only get reflected reasons to give up. You're not going to get reflected reasons to keep going if you feel like you want to give up, if you're telling yourself it's not working. That's why a lot of people are stuck, because it's one step forward, one step back. You'll be like, well, I've been persisting for 12 weeks. Yeah, but the next second you go right into saying, where's movement? Why isn't it working? I've been doing it for this long. They aren't showing up. Nothing's happening. I need this by this time. It doesn't show up. I tried the 10K affirmations challenge. I tried to manifest in 3 days. It didn't work. I'm feeling discouraged. You are not moving. You are just doing something and then coming right back. You are never looking outside of you. Even if it's not what you want, it doesn't matter. Nothing is set in stone. When you see the desire in your head, does it reflect the current circumstances you're in? No. So why are you acting like stuff still doesn't have to come about? Why are you acting like stuff still doesn't have to unfold? Mentally, you're living in your desired reality. I don't care what's going on physically. Mentally, you're in here. Mentally, in here. In here is always going to be your safe haven. In here, make in here your safe space. Because you can emotionally feel like giving up, but mentally or physically not say that. So even if you feel upset, even if you want to cry, go ahead. But you're still keeping the mental diet. You're still keeping your thoughts in check, because it is what you say it is. You either reaffirm, tell yourself it's already here, I already got it, it's already good. It's what I say, I'm powerful. Or you just tell yourself it doesn't even matter. It doesn't even matter what they're doing. They can do what they want to do. This person can say what they want to say. This money in my bank account can look how it wants to look. It's just a bunch of pixels on my screen. It's just a bunch of ones and zeros. I can make it say what I want to say. I can make my phone say what I want to say. I can make 2 extra commas appear with my mind. I can make a text appear with my mind. It is just glass on a screen. It doesn't even matter. When you ask, how can I not check if my bank account if I'm manifesting money, that is you asking the how. Because money doesn't have to be electronic or on your screen. It can be cash, it could be a check, it could be a written up agreement, it could be a contract, it could be an endorsement, it could be so many things. So why you don't have to check is because you're limiting yourself to possibilities. How can I not check my bank account if I need money? It doesn't have to come that way. And it doesn't have to be a surprise either. It's not, I feel like a lot of people think manifestation is like this magic trick. It is going to be so natural to you. You wouldn't even notice until you're signing the agreement, until you're signing the contract, until you're signing the check. Oh my God, I manifested $100,000. So the only reason you're asking, how can I check if I'm trying to manifest, because you want a reason to check because of your lack of self-worth. There is no good reason why you need to check. There is not a reason. It's not any of your business to know how things are working out. And you think knowing the how will make it manifest better. Oh, well, if I know how I'm getting the money, I'll feel calm. A lot of people know how. A lot of people want their business to become a multi-million-dollar business. All right, I want to make money through my business. Does that make it manifest faster? Ask the people who know their how. I want to manifest money through a business. I want this specific person. I want this job position. It's not about the how. It's not about when. It will not be better. You think it'll be better when you know how, when, why, who. It will not. It will still come down to your work, your self-concept, your mental diet, your consistency, your discipline. It is not outside of you. It is no one outside of you that is controlling it. Not the how, not the when, not the time. It is you. I don't care if things don't seem to be going your way. They will not if you keep saying they're not. The 3D reflects flawlessly this mindset, these dominant thoughts. Then people always ask, well, what if people ask me if my SP and I are together? What if people ask me for money and I don't have it? Do I say yes? Do I say okay? Do I still, compromise? What would you say when you were in grade school? And your grandma's like, are you getting straight A's? I know you're getting straight A's. My granddaughter, my grandson, you getting straight A's. And you know dang well you are not doing good in geometry class. But do you say, no, grandma, I'm failing? You say, no. Yes, grandma, I'm getting straight A's. I'm your pupil. Because she's not going to go check. When your boss is like, you're going to love working here. You love working here. And you really hate your job. You're just doing it for a check. Do you tell your boss that? No, I'm doing it for a check. I hate working here. No, you say, I love working here. So with that being said, you don't have to lie in your 3D. If your friend asks you, oh, are you in a relationship with this person? Do you have the money for this? You can say no and not let it affect you. The same way you told your grandma you got straight A's, but you don't. The same way you told your boss you love your job, but you don't. Are you going to go home and be like, oh my God, I'm a failure to my grandma. I'm going to make her think. No, you just move on. You're just doing what you got to do to get through. Again, that uncomfortable period. A baby not being able to talk at 2 years old doesn't affect its ability to speak English. It won't affect its ability to learn the language. You're just not assigning meaning to it. You can revise it or you just move on. It's not that serious, guys. So if somebody asks you something and you gotta say no, but you're manifesting it to be a yes, you don't get attached to it. You say what you gotta say, you do what you gotta do, and you move on. Just like you say yes to grandma, you say yes to your boss. It's not true. Doesn't matter. The conversation's over. I keep telling y'all, manifestation isn't this crazy thing. You've been doing it your whole life. Every situation that, oh, what about this? What about this? What about this? You've been in that situation before in your lifetime. What have you done then? Exactly. Correct the 3D and stop letting it correct you. Fix it in here. That's the easiest part of this whole thing, is just going in your mind and being like, oh yeah, period, living in there, period. I saw it in here, period. To me, honestly, a part that might be challenging is just when you are persisting and affirming and your thoughts are pushing out the old story and it feels more powerful and you're like, it's hard to control. It's hard to keep going. But ignoring the 3D or deciding it doesn't matter, that's the easy part. That's the fun part. That's the part where you get to decide. That's the part where you get to say, oh, I like this. I like challenging myself. I like how my mind works. I like understanding my subconscious. I like knowing that it doesn't matter what I'm seeing. I like knowing that I get to decide. I like knowing that I could see the complete opposite and still go in here and say it's not and have it reflected. Ignore the 3D the exact same way you watch my videos and ignore exactly what I said. You watch my videos, you're like, got it, cool, and then you go right back to doing the same old story thing. If you can do it for that, you can do it for ignoring the 3D. It's literally just effort and discipline. You only got to be consistent in the beginning, and then after a while, your subconscious is going to pick it up and it's going to do it habitually. You know, it's just too many people looking for a quick fix. For every 1,000 watchers, there's only one doer. So be a doer. Be the doer. Do it. Do it and do it and do it. And with that being said, that is all for you guys today. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, like, comment, and subscribe. Remember, you can have anything you want in this universe. Nothing's too big, small, wide, or expensive. I believe in you. You should believe in you. And I'll talk to you in my next video. Bye.